Hello, everybody. I am Shelley LeBaugh coming at you from the mean streets of Jersey. We're going to dive in tonight. So, welcome to the Thursday night SuperOne VIP overview and member update call. This is going to be an epic one for the books, and I hope that you share this with everybody. We're going to have all three of the founders. That hasn't happened in a while. We're going to have Andreas, Stian Alexander, and Stian Andre on this evening. So, I'm going to go through the presentation so everybody knows what's going on when they start dropping really cool updates that nobody else in the field has heard. You guys are going to hear it here first. So let me go ahead, share my screen, and just dive right in. We are going to discuss SuperOne. Why? Because it's one of the best things I've ever seen, and I've seen too much. I've seen a lot. So, we're going to talk about the business, the growth engine. We're going to talk about the partnerships. We're going to talk about all of the many revenue streams that you can take part in and how you can benefit as a creator. So, let's go ahead and start about the business. We are starting out as a mobile game, but we are not going to end there. So, let's talk about it. This has been our pilot game. Our pilot game is based on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You are swiping left and right for true or false. You can get three wrong before you die, but that's okay because it's a multiplayer game that goes off every 60 seconds. And the really cool thing is, from the battle royale that's based on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, we are now branching off, reskinning, and relaunching here in the next days and coming weeks with a rebrand and a relaunch with the battle world. So let's talk about the monetization. It is really the whole reason that the stars are coming, the clubs, we call them teams here in the US and Canada, and the brands themselves. And the reason is because the stars, when it comes to digital monetization, they have to go on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, and it's based on how many likes, views, and shares they get. Same thing with the clubs. They get some views on any of the sizzle reels that they happen to post. They might get some digital revenue. Brands are really getting abused because they have advertising that is abusive and intrusive and follows you from platform to platform, banging you in the head until you feel like you have no other choice but to buy something. We flipped everything on its head, starting with being able to take the superstar, the global superstar, engage them with the fan directly in a passionate way, launching the world's first passion economy. And then you have the clubs. They might get you to sit in a seat on, at a match on the pitch for 90 minutes watching a game. However, if you buy a little bit of merch online, that's not a lot of digital revenue. And that's only however many people they can get to buy a ticket to that specific match. They've got hundreds of millions of fans around the world, but they can't track the data, they can't re-engage with them, and they can't continue to bring them back in a passionate way to engage with them. Now, for the brands, we are able to do something nobody has ever thought of, which is gamifying advertising, where you actually build brand recognition, culture, and community by them opting in to play the game. It's very cool how it all works together, and it's very niche because these brands specifically sponsor either the stars or the sport themselves in a certain way. So it really fits together when you're talking about your target audience. We know that mobile gaming is massive, and it's going to be even bigger and just busting out of the seams by 2030. And the same it goes for in-app mobile advertising. It's going to go gangbusters by 2030. You can see the inflection point is even higher. Now, let's talk about Fortnite. They've got 60 million fans and they do 3.5 billion in digital revenue. Now, Barcelona Football Club has 400 million fans. That's quite a bit more, but they can only do about 10 million a year in digital revenue. That's 1% of their revenue done digitally. And there's a reason for that. They don't own the engagement layer. They have no way to track that data and reignite the passion and engage with them. So we've come up with a solution where we've built it from the ground up. The IP is ours, the tech, millions of lines of code, all of that is there to create a passionate experience for the fan. This is a passion-driven market. We also own the data and we have insight in how to capture their attention, bring them back to the ecosystem again and again. And that engagement is compounding. And our system is progressive because the more people come on, the more they invite their friends, the more they pay to play, the more money we all make. Now let's talk about what is the growth engine, or in this case, we call it the flywheel. A little bit of tech for you here, but we are using what is called a freemium model. That gives you free access. There's no barrier of entry. It gets people in playing and creating that muscle memory and hanging out and starting to build community. Now, when you start to ignite a little bit of passion, get a little bit of fan engagement, when you have fame and you have notoriety, and then you start to engage with the fans who have followed your entire career or followed that club, since their birth, because things are very tribalistic in these passionate homes when they're fans of something. We know that we can ignite that human nature where they become competitive and they're flexing their knowledge to get that recognition. And this is the first time the fan is getting the recognition from the person that they have followed and been passionate about, right? So that superstar is now giving that fan the recognition. And it's really cool because this gives you the ability to see your name on the leaderboard, get that community and culture building. And this is where the savvy players start to begin to buy the battle passes and the premium spend, where they're getting premium gaming tools, upgrading, buying collections of some of our collectible cards. And then you have this social amplification. This is really wild because we already know how things go viral, but we have so much now that will actually amplify this in such a huge way. We have a massive technology partner. We have people who have global notoriety and they're famous with hundreds of millions of fans, clubs with hundreds of millions of fans. And then we have the player with their voice going out and sharing it and bringing their friends here to play. We already had viral metrics when it came to our pilot phase. However, it's going to be so out of the stratosphere when we start to engage regular media with social media, with being priority in an algorithm, and all of these components working together, plus massive cash prizes. So we know the more players are on the platform, the more data we get. The more data we get, the better the end user experience becomes. And that's just how AI works. And this is very AI driven. However, it's very cool because this is all coming together. We know we were in those viral metrics during our pilot phase. We were already there. We were ready and set to take off. We didn't have large cash prizes. We had small cash prizes, and we were already well above industry standards. So when you bring all of this together for our reskinning and our relaunch, this is going to go gangbusters. So we could talk a little bit about the traction that took place in our pilot phase. We did 50 club games in 22 languages. Our engagement was super, super intense. We had 7 million games played. Our top 20 players, we call those our core players, they were playing 30 games per day, which is on average 3 hours a day, 3 hours a day. The retention was well beyond industry standard. Our stickiness was, again, measured very well. We had 150,000 gameplay hours in those 12 months. 20% our core players were spending $100 validated. That's ARPU, annual revenue per user. That's actually even above industry standard for what it was. And that's $2 a week. Most games don't have that, mobile games anyway. So we know that when we bring in a star to engage with the fan and we have people battling to win smaller and large $1 million cash prizes, that it will change. But we're going to stick with very, very cool numbers that we got already above industry standard in our pilot phase. Again, our top 20 core players were proven to watch about 20,000 annual ad views. That means we have a very, very good user base when it comes to getting prime real estate on our advertising. Virality, we had 90,000 unique and proven players that came back over and over again. And we were able to validate that this was global behavior because we were active in over 150 countries, not just South America, where we know Brazil and Argentina is very, passionate. This was globally replicated behavior, you guys. Now we have our top 20%, our core players, were inviting one person almost a day. So on the core players were inviting 27 of their friends to come play per month. Our average player was inviting two friends a week, which is eight friends a month. Industry standard is one invite per month. So we already were in a viral growth mode. That data allowed us to get really passionate partnerships, and they are really itching to get started. So we're not showing you his face yet. He's covered up and is masked as the Joker. He is going to be the first, but not the last. There's many more to come after him. But he's spent a lot of time inside this advanced camera system with the producers from the Mission Impossible series, and this 80 camera advanced system is helping to create a very, very realistic digital twin within a millimeter of his perfect likeness, because we have what's called a NIL, it's name, image, and likeness release. To use his image, we have to protect his brand, obviously, and keep it, very, very close to his real and true likeness. And this is exactly how we're able to do it so that we can scale, right? He's got 400 million fans across all his platforms. However, if you want to battle him directly, that would be hard. So we won't know if you're live streaming with him or if you're live streaming with his digital twin, because we need to be able to scale this. If 20 million people want to battle him at once and he's on the pitch playing, then we need another option, right? Because they're going to want to battle him directly. So I told you we have the Battle Royale. That was our flagship game. We love everything about that. And then we have what is now coming, the Battle World. There are three branches, three arms to the Battle World. We have the Star Millions, Star Battle, and the Star Legends. Star Millions, they're going to go and battle for $1 million in smaller cash prizes, and that weekly leaderboard winner will be crowned a millionaire at the end of every week on Sunday. Star Battle, you're going to battle. You can opt in and pay to battle directly with the star, see if you can beat him in his own game. Star Legends, you're going to get invited into his tower where you battle to the very top. Once you get to the top, you become a legend. You get that recognition back from the stars. So it's really, really cool. But there's a lot that takes place in there. So we'll kind of touch on a little bit. Star Millions, this is where you get on the leaderboard and you are battling to stay there. We saw this in our pilot phase, you guys. People would take a break or a nap or lunch or whatever they would do, and they'd see they went from spot, the top spot, and then they dropped down to three, and then they would get right back in there to battle to get back to number one. And I'm telling you, they did not know $1 million cash prizes were coming. We had very, very small cash prizes in our pilot phase, and they don't know that the star's coming, and they do not know that the clubs are coming. They don't know all this stuff. They were battling for recognition and very small cash prizes. Now they're going to be battling for $1 million a week. That's pretty cool. Star Battle, you can opt into a direct battle where you can live stream on SuperOne to battle with the star. And because of one of our tech partners, you'll be able to actually live stream that somewhere else as well and be prioritized in their algorithm and get close to 2 billion eyeballs on your content. That doesn't happen anywhere. You can see at the bottom of the first screen, it says connect to TikTok. So that gives you a little hint how that works. Star Legend, this is where you go into the tower and you climb to get to the top to be a legend in that tower. There are tournaments that you are going to battle in. There are quests. There are challenges. Think about Pokemon Go when kids were running out in the street to catch every Pokemon. We have a little bit of augmented reality, little overlay because of our TikTok partner. You can live stream, get some, do one of the quests while you're live streaming. Everything is gamified, but it's also skill. So you might be juggling a soccer ball back and forth and getting views and shares and likes, and that will help you rank up and evolve in the game. So very cool stuff how it all works. None of it is anything basic. It's not like any game you've ever heard of. So let me tell you quickly how we ended up with this amazing partnership that is not by any means small. As a matter of fact, there's really nothing bigger out there. Our technology partner, ByteDance Group, we engaged with them to actually get some marketing done, some strategic marketing. And while in that engagement, they saw what we were doing and how they were going to help strategize us to do some targeted marketing. And didn't take long before they saw how this could work together. So we're not exactly married, but we are living together. So ByteDance Group owns TikTok. They own Byte Plus, which is the AI arm, and some Web3 stuff that they're doing and looking into gaming. And this was just the perfect time to get a technical transfer agreement with SuperOne and TikTok. So this is how it's going to work. They also own the TikTok version, Douyin, which is the Chinese version of the app. And we are in really, really good positioning now. So this is just a quick way to explain how the technology partner works. So a technology transfer agreement is where you equally share your technology. So Super One is the gaming engine, ByteDance is the technology, and TikTok is the algorithm and it is the user base. And we are just one big happy family now. So, in the beginning, when we have the smaller cash prizes, right, the whole week we have leaderboards going off, the hourly, the daily, the weekly leaderboard. This is a big deal. We don't want just one winner getting a dopamine hit at the end of the month. That person won $1 million. That's a big dopamine hit. That's a big deal. But this is why our stickiness and retention is so high because 100 people at the top of every leaderboard will share in that other $1 million that is split up to those winners at the top, the 100 top spots on every leaderboard is going to share in that $1 million. So that is incredible. And how we are going to be able to push this out is not only sharing it on SuperOne, but you can directly integrate your account and share that directly to your TikTok account and then share your link and bring people back. Because if somebody sees you just won $45,000 on something they're really passionate about too. They love football. They want to try and see if they're better than you at it. So they're going to take your link and they're going to come back. And that is a feed loop that isn't going to stop. It's just going to keep on growing. So the TikTok star battle, this is really, really cool because we can do a lot with this. You can opt in to battle the star on Super One and you can live stream that directly over to TikTok and you can bring people back to Super One with you. And this is really incredible because in the beginning, people aren't going to know that you're not live streaming with the actual superstar. They're just going to see you doing a battle on TikTok with this super famous global sports star. I mean, that's going to make you look like a baddie. And you'll be able to bring those people straight back to Super One, and they're now connected to you. So it's really incredible how this will all work. You don't have to play the game whatsoever to win here. So just don't think that's the case. However, TikTok has their own live battles, so you can actually engage in those as well. And the way that it works is if you know anything about TikTok, you can actually just decide to open a battle. You can pick one side of the battle versus the other. So if you want to be Real Madrid versus Barcelona, you could do that. If you want to be Argentina versus Brazil, you could do that. And then you can utilize TikTok's gifting engine to have people vote on who they're with. You can say why, Brazil is better than Argentina, or why Argentina is better than Brazil. You could give them all the examples. Messi and Di Maria, well, Di Maria's not playing this year. It's just all the things. And you can get gifts sent to you. And then you can put up your link and bring those people right back to Super One with you. Why wouldn't they want to come back? You're engaging in something that they're super passionate about. And TikTok's going to push you in front of the right eyeballs. We have another partnership. This is a paid partnership, but it's a big deal. So you don't have to know anything about football or soccer or anything whatsoever to see this blasted out everywhere. So we are going to make a world record attempt to build the world's largest tower, digital tower, fully scaled with, the architecture, schematics and use CAD and you build it. And it's really cool how it comes together. Us on the creator side, on the business side, we have the drones and the players who are buying the battle passes. They will have the balls and will have the meter, their name, and a timestamp and a signature from the star themselves. Our drones will go pick up their balls and it will build up our tower. So, the Burj Khalifa, everybody does. It's 828 meters, and we're going to make it look teeny tiny because when we start our world record attempt, we were going to get our drones to pick up the balls. When we get to 1,500 meters at the very top, it's going to let us fire out, and we are going to have a gorgeous, beautiful digital artifact. So this is how the launch is all planned to go. We have our public week, which is going to be live streaming the star, getting pushed out onto TikTok, our media partners, the legacy media, YouTube, Google ads, it's going to be everywhere. And then pre-sale week is when we blow out all of the battle pass sales, really cool stuff happening and promotions in there for those guys. So they're going to want to grab them early. And then we let them run wild week 3. They're going to be battling on the leaderboard, winning those smaller cash prizes, and then crowning our first millionaire after we have our first world record attempt. So public week will go with the star activation, press releases, live streams, TikTok prioritizing us in front of 2.8 billion eyeballs, because you got to remember Douyin has 750 million people on their platform. And then we have a long-standing relationship with gold.com, which is the biggest media house in the sport. They get billions of views on their monthly content. And then we have our legacy media through our media partner to go ahead and just blast everything on every single platform you could be on digitally. So pre-sale week goes live with all of that media buzz, and we will always have our freemium model. You can play 10 games for free, but that you can exhaust. It's consumable. So these are good for a week. If you use it up, then you're going to need to get another battle pass. So the free one, you can play 10 games. Get those engines revving. If you want to be a contender, this is open worldwide. Everyone can afford $1 to play. That means you can play as many games as you want for a whole week. You can win up to 10 prizes. Now, if you win 10 prizes, you can roll that prize money into another battle pass so that you can continue to battle to get to that top spot where you can win $1 million. And you're going to get one ball that is used in our world record attempt. The Challenger, which is $5. You're going to be able to play as many games as you want. You can win up to 50 prizes, and you're going to get 10 balls time-stamped and signed for you that are going to be used in the world record attempt when we build our tower. Now, the Champion and the Legend, this is super cool. You can play as many games as you want, win up to 250 prizes. You're going to get 50 balls used in that world record attempt. And for $25, you're going to get a digitally signed letter from the star himself. The Legend, $100. We already know that the 25 and the $100 is going to go like wildfire. You can play as many games as you want. You can win as many prizes as you can possibly win. You're going to get 500 balls to be used in that world record attempt, and you're going to get a personalized video from the star themselves. It's like a cameo, but with battle pass, upgrades. So we do our world record attempt. The media hype is going crazy. Our leaderboards are on fire. People are incentivized to invite their friends to come battle, to see exactly what's going on, because everyone is going to be hearing about this. Believe me. You might not think it, but it's going to be everywhere. We'll have our prize storm, that smaller $1 million in cash prizes broken up in the smaller prizes. That's going to be blasted out all over TikTok for a whole week. And then at the end of the week, we crown our first millionaire. This is amazing. It's amazing. It's all just incredible.
Breaking news. 3 lions are at the center of a case involving the theft of a golden football.
Stay with me.
The football is composed of approximately 6 kilograms of pure gold.
And what is the value of this football?
All right, I lost my mouse there for a second. So you can definitely see what some of this, I mean, it's covered up a little bit, but some of the campaigns that will, there's a 7 video series that is just a little snippet of a 2 minute video that will be part of the campaign. And when I saw it, I was blown away. Obviously, our goal has always been to bring on 25 million fans in this first campaign. When I saw what we have in store that we're going to be putting out there, I think we're going to break the internet, and I think this is not going to even be close. I think we're going to exceed these goals, but that's just me. And when you do get to see the video, I think you'll understand why I said that. So, onboarding tens of millions of people because our superstar has 400 million fans across all platforms. We're prioritized in front of over 2 billion people. We have a lot of things coming together. We want to onboard just 25 million, that convert just that little amount and monetize only 20% because it's industry standard. I think we're going to be well beyond that, but let's just stay with a really, really conservative number. So, how does this all work out for you as a creator? We're moving away from the network marketing model and we're moving into the creator mode. Something that TikTok has done is an excellent case study on creators. Everybody, YouTube, they have creators. Everybody's a creator now. So, we're moving away from that where you can actually earn on your audience. And this is a brilliant thing because it helps us be more compliant. So the first thing you would need is a key to unlocking the gate. So the creator pack is your first place to start, and then you can opt into some other revenue streams if you choose to. So the creator pack is really the gateway to the economy. We have somewhere everyone can fit in, so it's a get in where you fit in kind of scenario. I will say the entry, the bronze, and the silver doesn't really open up a ton of the reoccurring revenue for you in the way that the premium creator packs do. So the gold, the platinum, and the diamond give you much more access to the revenue streams and the long-term reoccurring revenue. So at gold at 500 USD, you're going to get around 1,000 of the super token. That's our native utility token. And 10% of all of the revenue that takes place on the platform, whether it is on the creator side, whether it's e-commerce, whether it is the players, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. 10% of all revenue goes back to the super token holders. You get a distribution based on how many super token you are holding. So the more you hold, the bigger your share of that distribution is. Then we have some gaming assets. We have cards, spaces, and towers. Uh, we refer to them as NFTs, but they're really collectibles. They're used in the game. So players can either rent or purchase them from you. If you are holding a card that they need to complete a series in order to evolve or rank up in their game, then they would need to either rent or buy it from you. Advertising spaces, think of that like a digital billboard. When a non-paying player wants to opt in, or maybe even a paying player wants to opt into some advertising because they want to get first dibs on some merch. They can do that. If you own that digital billboard and you have people watching your space, you're going to get advertising revenue. No one shares advertising revenue. They just don't. Towers are another way that we earn. So every superstar that comes in, every club or team, every brand like Nike or Puma or Adidas, it doesn't matter. Everyone that comes in that aspect that has a large audience, they will get a tower. There's 31,100 tower bricks, let's call them. So you get tower tokens, you can buy a brick. Now you own a piece of that tower, you own it, and you're going to earn in perpetuity. When a player comes in, if they're buying merchandise, if they're spending money to battle the star, whatever they're doing in there, you're getting a share of it because you own a piece of that tower. A platinum for 5,000 USD, you're going to get a little over 11,000 super token, and you're going to get 120 of those gaming assets that you can earn from. You're going to get 40 cards. You're going to get 40 of those ad spaces, and you're going to get 40 of those tower tokens. So you can take a piece or more or multiple pieces of towers so you can earn on lots and lots and lots of them. Also, the diamond, which is 25,000 USD, you're going to get just under 60,000 super token. That's a big chunk of a share that you're going to get when the distribution goes out, right? You're holding more super token, you're going to get a bigger cut. You're also going to get 300 of those gaming assets. You're going to get 100 cards, 100 advertising spaces, and you're going to get 100 tower tokens. So that's how you create those long-term reoccurring revenue pieces. Then we have something else. If you come in at a gold or above, then another piece opens up to you and you have the ability to opt into a fan pack, which is the targeted marketing. That's actually why we went to ByteDance in the beginning, was to do very strategic, very targeted marketing. And because everybody knows TikTok knows their end user better than the end user knows themselves, they when you do marketing with them, they will give you all the metrics you need to do targeted marketing. So we know exactly out of their 1 billion passionate football fans, who is a mobile gamer, who's an in-app purchaser, who spends a lot of time on their phone, who watches a lot of advertising, and we have all those metrics. And that allows us to do some very, very targeted marketing with our advertising. So we know our priority markets are Brazil, UK, Spain, Italy, and Germany. We are starting with 20 markets, and 21 will be China as soon as the compliance and regulation stuff has been approved. Then we know that Douyin, the TikTok version of the app in China, they have 375 million extremely passionate and extremely spendy fans on their platform. So we are in very good hands when it comes to that. Now, in our pilot phase, we know that the average player was spending about $2 per week, not the average player, but the industry standard, which was 20%. They were spending about $2 per week, which is $100 a year. TikTok has shown us that the people we are targeting are more likely to spend actually above $10 a week, but we cut it down. We cut it down and we cut it down. We cut it down to a number that we felt confident with. So TikTok's not making up these numbers. With one thing, they're incredibly good at what they do. So if your fan that comes through this targeted campaign is spending $10 a week, that's 500 a year. If that fan is attached to you as a creator, your 10% share would be $50 per annum. That's per year. So if you purchase a fan packet and you get the fans, we know that the pilot virality was one fan becoming 100 fans within a year. Again, we made those numbers conservative, where we said 50% will share with others, even though that wasn't what was really happening. We're going to say 50% probability. And they only share with two, even though our average player was sharing with 8 and our core player was sharing with 30. We said 2. And within 6 generations, one fan became 100. So we're going to keep those conservative numbers for you because we'd rather give you base case and not best case. So if you were to get 300 fans through the marketing campaign with the ability to grow to 30,000 fans within 6 generations, that's incredibly powerful. But we're going to stick with industry standard and say you only monetize 20% of them. That's 6,000 fans who are willing to spend money. That gives you a forecasted potential of $300,000 per year. That is insane, insane return, but it's actually very conservative based on the real numbers. The fan packs are as is. I said we have 20 markets right now. China will be 21. The demographic you get to choose the Pro, the Mega, or the Ultra. So for 500, the company will guarantee you 50 fans that have the ability to grow to 5,000 fans. A Mega at 2,500, they're going to kick you off with a guaranteed 275 fans, which has the ability to grow to 27,500 fans. And Ultra for $10,000, they're going to kick you off with 1,200 fans that has the potential to grow to 120,000 fans within a year. I would say screenshot this so you know what markets we are going to have ongoing fan campaigns in, and then China will be the next one that is coming up. Not sure when that will be approved, but I will be buying China when when it is released. So just to touch on again, Pro, $500, they kick you off with 50 fans. The potential is to grow to 5,000 fans. That means your share of that revenue would be about 50,000 per year. Mega to 175 fans growing to 27,500. That means your revenue potential is 275,000 per year. And Ultra, 1,200 fans growing to 120,000 fans within a year. That's 1.2 million per annum. That's pretty intense. We also have something called Star Packs. We were all really excited to have fan packs and really targeted marketing. However, we had run some simulations and we knew what the onboarding metrics would look like. And there was a tipping point. And one thing about these guys is they always wanted to keep the story in our hands. They want to give us the ability to grow on the business side. They want to bring in 1 billion players on the platform, but they want the creators to be able to grow to a million on our side. And that means to give us the best story early on. And they realized they had a tipping point and they were going to be onboarding way more fans than they knew what to do with. So they gave us the ability to purchase what's called a star pack, and we can leverage the massive fan base, the global media coverage, and the viral momentum in order to do that. We are coming down to, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. There was only 10,000 star packs available because this has to mathematically make sense. And this has to give us a place for those stars to go. They always wanted to kick this public launch off with getting 10 to 15 million stars or fans into our hands. So what we can do, since we're at the cusp of 6 to 8 million, that gives us room to grow. They offered us the 10,000 star packs and we are almost sold out. Once they are gone, they are gone because this has to happen in the beginning in that first 90-day window. That's when the most amount of people will be onboarding. So you can get what's called a Pro Star Pack for $500 and 2x your um, your guaranteed fans. So run the numbers. If you already have fans or you're thinking about purchasing them, you can see that a Pro would 2x those fans for you. A Mega will 5x for $1,000. So if you have fans and you know what the company guarantees, they will 5x it and you have that same growth metric. An Ultra for $2,500 will 10x your guaranteed fans. So they're going to boost that. Now, there's a couple of things I want to just point out. It applies to any past fan packs you've purchased and the future fan packs you purchase up until 90 days after the star goes live and does his announcement. It cannot go past that, right? All of the simulations, all of the inflection and growth and all of that stuff that takes place is in that 90 days in the campaign. So just keep in mind, you've passed that will be covered. Your future, you have a 90-day window from the time that the star makes the first announcement. This was 20% left a while ago. So this I should probably take off the screen because we're way, way, way below 20%. We're getting very near having none left. We also have a very, very generous referral plan. Normally, the fast start is for people who come in their first 30 days. You'll get 20% on any direct referral. However, everyone is currently getting it no matter how long you've been here. It does revert to 10% on a direct referral after 30 days. But right now, for how much longer, we don't know. Take advantage of it because it is a big deal. It's double what you would normally get. Unless you're brand new, then you would still have had the 30 days. Now, we can pay out up to 110% on this plan. And the reason that's sustainable is the breakdown. So your 20% on any direct referral is going to come to you 75% instantly to an external wallet paid to you in XRP, and 25% of that 20% commission is going to come to you in internal super token. And you can earn anywhere from 5 to 10% on your generational levels based on eligibility. And we can do that in another comp plan video. But there is a lot of generosity in this. And then there are ways to even unlock an infinity bonus. So maybe take a screenshot if you plan on sharing this Doesn't matter if you are passive, we love you just as much, or if you're active and you want to scream from the rooftop, or if you accidentally end up referring others. This is what you will get when you share this with someone else. Gold is going to get you $75 instantly in XRP paid externally to your external wallet, and then $25 worth of super token, which is currently listed at just under 60 cents, and we will list at no less than $1 during the FIFA World Cup. So it's closer to double at the time we go to listing. So you can do the math on what you're going to get, 750 in XRP, closer to 500 in super, $500 worth, but just the value is what I'm saying. The diamond 3750 in XRP, closer to 2500 in super when we list. Again, please make sure you connect a self-custody wallet to your SuperOne account. Otherwise, you will not get paid instantly or externally. We also pay out on the fans and the starter packs. It's just a little different. So take 50% of all of that marketing campaign funds and put them over here and forget about them. We only pay out 50% of the face value on a fan pack or a star pack. And this is what it looks like if you refer someone who gets a fan pack or if you refer someone who gets a star pack. So if you need to take a screenshot and refer back to it so you know exactly what you're going to get, you can double the super in your head, do the math, baby, because it's good. Now the matching, guys, this is coming to a roaring halt. Um, it's been incredibly generous and it's just who these guys are. However, it can't go on forever. And very, very soon here, when we go live with everything, there's no reason for it to. If you come in at least as a gold or above and you refer someone who gets a gold or above creator pack, they will match those assets into your same account. That is crazy talk, but it's true. So if you come in as a gold and you refer someone as a diamond, you're going to get diamond assets added into your account, right? $25,000 worth of super token. That's a big share on those that distribution coming back to you in the staking. You're going to get all of those cards, all of those advertising spaces, and all of those towers. You just won't get the rank. So keep that in mind. It's still a very, very good deal. You refer someone who, if you are a gold or above and you refer somebody who gets a fan pack, you're going to get the same number of fans in the same country with the same ability to grow and pay you year after year. If you refer somebody, if you're a gold or above and they get a star pack, you're going to get the same multiplier added to your account. This is coming to a roaring halt, as I said. There's one little deal on the star pack, however, because matching, you can end up with multiple multipliers. Mathematically, that is in the realm of impossibility because of all the other matching. If you were to get multiple star packs matched to you because you referred many people who got star packs, only one will apply, but the company is so amazing, it will be the highest one. So if you refer 20 people who get a pro or a mega and one person who gets the ultra, they're going to apply the ultra to multiply all of yours. So you just can't multiply on a multiplier because we get into the numbers that just don't exist. Now, if that wasn't enough for you guys, and I know that's a lot, it's extremely generous. Nobody does this. They went even further and it was kind of crazy. I've never seen anything like it. The top 10, I can't move that transcribed thing. Maybe Christy, if you can change that. I don't have my mouse. It's like I have no power when I'm in Keynote.
I
Can you?
can't see it.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's just on my side. It just says it's being transcribed. I can't shut it down. Okay. So we have a promo going on right now that if you are in the top 10 leaderboard in volume, and Katie, Katie's on tonight, she just hit number 1 on the leaderboard. You're going to be the winner of 1 million super tokens. So the top 10 people to bring in volume during this promo is going to win $1 million in super token. Well, 1 million super token. If we list at $5, that's $5 million worth of super token. And it is not going to be held in vesting. It will bypass vesting. You can take that straight to the exchange if you want to upon listing. And then the top 100 creators in volume will win on that leaderboard. They're going to win 100 super token. So if you held that until super got to $10, that would be $1 million in super token as well. So You can strategize how you want to do that for yourself. If that wasn't enough, 110 people, quite a lot of super token, pretty impressive. We have another promo. I think these guys must have been drinking one night and lost their minds because they did even more for us, which is bonkers. As long as the volume that's coming in is coming from a gold $500 pack, a star pack, or a fan pack, then that volume, whether it's a personal purchase or a direct referral, for every dollar in volume that you have in that time frame, you're going to get one fan for every dollar. So if you refer someone who gets a platinum, you're going to get 5,000 fans. That's like getting a fan pack and a booster all at once. However, let me just reiterate, these bonus fans, the star boost does not apply to them. It can't, because if you refer three diamonds in this time frame, which, Katie's about to do, if you refer a bunch of diamonds or you refer a bunch of platinums and then you had a 10x on that, you're going to move into the realm of impossibility yet again. So the star boost doesn't apply to this portion of the promo. It will apply to any of your matched fans or your own personally purchased fans. So that's it, baby. 5 billion fans, 5 billion wallets. This is the most passionate sport around the world. Gives us the ability to get the most amount of eyeballs and the most amount of passion on the platform. Yes, we will go into movies and music and every other sport that has passionate fans, but we're starting here. And you get to connect with the most amount of people, whether you want to be passive and you want to purchase those fans or you want to scream it from the rooftops. We love you if you're passive. We love you if you're screaming with the rest of us. This is the point where I say thank you for jumping on tonight's call. Get back to the person who referred you. Don't just go download it from the App Store. You want to be connected to the person who invited you or sent you this recording, because then at least you're connected to them if you do decide after playing the game you want to get involved in the business. So we're going to stop right there because we have one of the amazing founders with us tonight. Well, actually, all three of the amazing founders, but one of them doesn't get on many of our calls. So we have Alex and Andre, the two Steons, and I think Andreas, if he's not here
Fun.
already, be joining us very shortly. Alex.
So, oh, sorry. Stan
Good
Andre, could you make him co-host? Because I can't do it on my end. Hi,
good
Andre. Hi,
evening, good evening,
Alex.
everybody.
Good evening.
It was
Good
a great presentation.
evening.
Yeah, yes, it's really exciting now. So Andreas is now in Miami. We had some great meetings. So he's joining here now. Woo! So maybe he can update a little bit, tell what's going on, and then we can talk after because there is a lot of exciting now. So it is hard to rest and relax. Hello, Andreas.
Hey,
Straight in from Miami.
he is. I know.
Welcome to Miami.
Hi, Andreas. Hello.
You'll have to
You're
co-host
muted,
him too.
Andreas.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now. I got it. It took me a minute to find him in the chat. Okay, there he is.
There we are. How are you guys doing? Kelly, how are you doing?
I'm great. You're the goated one. You are, I said, forget MAGA. I want to make Andreas goated. I love
Yeah,
it.
I'm broadcasting from your country. I'm in Miami attending the Consensus 2026. And it's amazing to be here. And it's amazing to see how Americans have, how would I say, captured the crypto space and the digital space, regardless of how should I say, how you love the administration or not. Coming from Norway, we always have comments, but the way and the positiveness that is reflected in US at the moment is amazing. And I've been attending now Consensus for 3 days and obviously been listening to people from the administration, from NASDAQ, from the regulators, from even the White House. So it's been amazing to see how this is moving. We've been into this a little bit. We are not fresh into US. I was here back a month ago at the Saudi Arabian American Investment Conference. I saw the very contours of this happening, and So to pop some news, we are moving SuperOne to United States. The top company will be domiciled in Delaware. We will have the same structure as the big tech companies, Apple, Google, and Facebook. We will have our holding company in Delaware. We are setting up office in Miami. I signed engagement letter with the most valuable or most appreciated law firm in the US for startups the other day. So we are moving heavily. I have a new structural meeting with them in the morning. So what is taking place is that we are making SuperOne 100% SEC compliant all the way through. So with the clarity rules, with the upcoming different provisions coming from the US regulators, we are able to do this. So it will include some changes, but at the same time, it brings us to the heartbeat of the strongest economy in the world, and it opens a great deal of possibilities, both in terms of different fiat rails, different structures. So that's amazing. We will maintain. So what we are doing, we are injecting our European operation into US. We are forming new companies also in Ireland to handle the global App Store revenue. And we are working with the different law firms around the globe for how we structure our business as we now become a full-blood US entity. So that's pretty cool. And I must say, we always been looking to US as the end goal, but I can tell you that now this is part of our phased strategies. So what we are putting in front now is also a roadmap to Nasdaq for a holding company. That's a very clear roadmap to Nasdaq. That's why we're structuring it. So this of course has to be will reflect the remainder of the operation. I can say from a bird eye perspective, we are phasing SuperOne into 4 phases, and I'm going to go a little bit into these phases now. We have the first phase is what we dubbed the Genesis. And the second phase is Pulse, is where the heartbeat started. Genesis is the pregnancy of life. That's when you form everything. It's the foundational part. Pulse is the birth. It's when the individual baby pops out and start forming itself. And then you move to Nexus phase, is where you start networking. That's when you start going to school, when you go to university, when you find your beloved one. And the final phase is called Atlas. That's when you start forming yourself. You maybe get married, you get kids, and you expand your horizon. Those 4 phases is the 4 times of the year, is the 4 phases of SuperOne, is also where we are. So to look into this, the Genesis period is the years behind us. We don't even count years. We count it in billions of data points. So all the billions of data points we have created over the years, they are now being inserted into the Pulse section, where we are actually using the latest and probably the most edgy AI technology in the world. So, AI is predominantly machine learning. 80% is machine learning based on data point, based on historical data. And within the gaming industry, within our field, with the creator network, we have billions of data points that we are inserting, probably north of 10 billion data points. So that's what we are capitalizing on. And with the partnership with ByteDance, we are not only capitalizing on our own data point, we are capitalizing on all the data point of the ByteDance group, meaning TikTok and Douyin, from 2.7 billion users all over the world. So our recommendation engine in the social that we are now currently implementing with the ByteDance tech team will be the most powerful in the world. And when I've been to Consensus now, I met some of the people that I know in the industry for more than 10 years. I met a PR agent, I met new partners, and a lot of people I can't speak about. They just say, wow, Have you got that agreement with ByteDance? Yes, we have. And we are number 3 in the world with that agreement. Number 1 is Louis Vuitton Moët Hennessy. Number 2 is Estée Lauder. And number 3 is SuperOne. There is no one else with that programmatic access. How did we get there? Long-term strategy. It started in 2024, in September. We started flirting with Hong Kong partners and investors. And we started, and they kind of require us to deliver more data points, more analytics. And they forced us into the pilot game, which we run through 2025. Whether it was not the best game all, it was not the best UX, but it created more than 7 million games with 1,891,000 prices. That's paid. That's on blockchain. So whatever people say, we have delivered on that. The top 20% spent more than 3 hours every day. That's 3 times Netflix, and not to miss all the virality. So this is our genesis phase when it comes to the game. When it comes to the creators, the genesis phase has been going on for some years, but it's been a journey. That journey comes now to birth. We are capitalizing on everything we have done, because I can say to Brad Garlinghouse in Ripple, we have 200 million transactions on your ledger. Wake up, buddy. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're bringing. And I can also say to you that we are using Ripple, yes, but we're going to expand. We will also include the use of Base, which is the Coinbase network that gives us USDC transactions at less than 200 milliseconds, which is the blink of an eye. And it links in to the full US compliance with on and off ramp through Stripe and other how should I say, service providers. So this is what happened. This is what's possible under the current administration, and this is what we're doing. It was not possible when Gary Gensler was in office. It's possible now because it's getting there. And the magnitude of what happened in the US on the blockchain, I can't underestimate it. I'm not going to just talk about blockchain, but this goes all the way into the whole story of AI and gaming, because a lot of AI and blockchain is all merging into one thing now, one big tech ball, and everyone is onto it. Everybody speaks about AI, but not everyone has what we have. And I would like to quote Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn. I spoke with him yesterday. He basically said, many people are missing the layer, the app layer. They have the blockchain because everyone can create a bare metal blockchain with insane capacity. That's the easy thing. But to get the freaking users coming in and have an entertaining product that actually removes your psychology and create a recurring and compounding revenue stream from participation, and not only attention economy that doesn't exist many places. We have that. We have that. We've proven it, and we are now rolling it out. So this journey moves us into the pulse phase where we are now. We are giving birth to what we have been pregnant with for years, and we've been nurturing that pregnancy by all the data points, all the test, trial and error we've done, the failures, in a sense. I won't call it failures because it's experience. It's not failure, it's experience. It gives you, I mean, if you kind of fail with something, you haven't just succeeded yet. It's not about failure. It's just about massaging it until it actually works. And we are now at the place where the game is working. The new version of the game, you won't believe how much AI and agentic fun we have in that. You're going to play the game with agent that will play on your behalf when you are sleeping, and actually making you money when you are sleeping. So we're going to do that into the gaming part. We're going to do it into the creative part with creator agents that actually keep marketing on your behalf. You see the start now with the fan package. It's come much more. It come agentic marketing. The whole economy will be agentic. And we are seriously doubling down on the AI in the platform. And we are transforming this from just a game to a gamified AI engagement layer. We are layering this like the four of the years. The four phases also comes in the not only horizontal in terms of phases, it's also come in 4 layers. You will see it going through all what we do will be 4 layers. It comes to monetization, it comes to the different thing. Everything is 4 layers. One layer building on top of another. We're starting with the football layer. We are adding NFL, we are adding NBA, we are adding Formula One. That's the 4 layers we are focusing on. And don't ask me about cricket. And we're moving. So there is so much a great deal happening. As we are in US, we brag about European soccer. Don't forget, yes, we have meetings with NFL. Yes, we have meetings with NBA. Yes, we have resources in Formula One. It's all come together. As you know, we have a stronghold also in the Middle East, in Qatar and Saudi Arabia in particular. Both of them are large into Formula One. And you see how NBA is moving. NBA is now bigger in Europe than it is in US. So it's really moving. No, I mean in the worldwide scale, there are 300 million Chinese watching NBA. So there is so much happening on a global economy. There is so many great opportunities comes from this digitalization, and I won't say decentralization because it won't be full decentralization yet. So we are not crypto anarchist or we don't use that. We use blockchain as a verification layer, a layer for exchanging value across the world, across borders, at the speed of coming up less than 200 milliseconds. That's the blink of an eye. So you transfer from US, from here in Miami to Hong Kong or Beijing at the blink of an eye. And you can do it because Base is an Ethereum-based layer 2 that's run by Coinbase, which is a US listed entity under the SEC rules and compliance. So we are pretty safe that even that layer 2 is being handled properly. So because I was not, if you asked me 2 years ago, I was not that fan of a layer 2, but I see that's the only way of doing it. And by doing it by Ethereum as the foundation, we are capitalizing on the main blockchain in the world. So that's the principal layer. Apart from Bitcoin, you will have Ethereum running, and whatever you like of the other blockchains, that's okay. We are kind of blockchain agnostics, but the main big project is now running on Ethereum. I spoke with JP Morgan yesterday. They're running their new kinetic system on Ethereum Enterprise Layer 2, same as we do. They're transporting value. So it's a great deal. And in particular, when you speak to JP Morgan, you mean it's the biggest bank in the world. It's now moving money. If I roll back 3-4 years, I remember Diamond, the CEOs, told us crypto is a scam. Now he's embedded it into his settlement structure. And you have Bullish coming out of US with Tom Farrelly doing incredible stuff at the speed of the light. So there is so much happening in this part of the world that I think now we are on an American call. I just have to say congratulations because your rebound into this is crazy. So that's really funny. And that's why we are capitalizing on it. So those phases we are moving. So Pulse phase is what we are moving. We are releasing a very big superstar shortly. I won't say anything about the timing because we have teams on the ground working with their team now. And there is a lot of busy things going on, synchronizing with World Cup and different activities. So we are closing in on that. And I think only from that star, I think we are looking at, let's say 10 million monetized users. And the monetization, I have started to describe it like a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee every week. A cup of coffee can be valued at, let's say, $2. $2 every week, okay? That's an average price for coffee across medium to high-end markets. But then, a lot of people not only today, but for decades, have gone to Starbucks and they have a little bit of caramel or chocolate into there. They have a little bit dash of that, a little bit dash of that. So they're not spending $2, but they might be spending 3, 4, 5, or even $6 for the cup of coffee. And this is where all our extra items comes in. So the concept of a cup of coffee plus plus actually describes our business model in the sense that basically people participate with a couple of dollars every week, and then you see, and maybe it even double down to $4 in average. Then we have a lot of people that would spend maybe 5, 10, 15, $20 and even higher. And you have a lot of people playing for free, and you have a lot of people playing at a minimum of $1. But the average, when I calculate, I use like $2 to $3. Okay. So if you take 10 million people monetize, that's the active that is recurring and compounding, growing every week. But let's say you calculate it at $10 and now 10 million people doing $2 a week. That's $20 million every week. And there, let's be conservative and say it's 50 weeks a year. That's $1 billion. That's $1 billion every year from 10 million users. So you know the value of a gross cash flow stream of $1 billion in the market today? You can multiply by 10. So you have then with 10 million created a company that's worth approximately $10 billion in the market. That's a $10 billion bet on 10 million players at a cup of coffee every week. And that's before we add the caramel and the chocolate and the other stuff. So this shows a little bit of the scale of this economy. And God forbid if you put not 10 million, but 100 million players. Then you can start calculating a company into the $100 billion, which is not that far catch as you think it is. If you look on the most valued companies today, you see all of them are in the tech AI space. There is a lot of new entrances in there, and we have a practical application of AI to a sense that many other companies don't have. So we bring the retail people into the actual use of AI on their behalf. And we are using the most passionate sports in the world to make it happen under the hood so that there is no technical barriers. So when I, a few years ago, say we are consuming the crypto complexities, we are now consuming the AI complexities also, merging this into some of the most powerful solution you could have in modern history when it comes to gaming, social layers. That what we are embedding now, the social layer from ByteDance, is crazy when it comes to attention, and it add weight to it power up our flywheel. So when people are spending time gaming, they're going to share things now on TikTok, and that when that travels around in the algorithms of TikTok, it will attention of much more people that will come to the platform. And then you've got this flywheel running around, compounding interest, and more people, more sharing, more business, more money, more value, and more creative rewards. So obviously, we are very much aware of the value that we bring to the platform. So for argument's sake, a $10 billion value is not only for the shareholders, it's for the token holders also. And it's always been for SuperOne. We started as a creative run company. We still are. We haven't yet taken external money. We haven't yet taken external money from investors, but yet they are sniffing on us. And yes, we are dressing our bride. Why? Because it's a lot of things we do, like expansion into NFL, NBA, will have a big price tag in terms of licensing and stuff like that. So yes, we are there. It's also the way that we create a credible approach for the whole group. Having external investors coming in is a verification. It's a verification more than it's a need for capital. So we are working with some serious institution when it comes to this. And what I want to say is that I always been on the creative side since we created this whole thing. Has been it started as a sort of network affiliate. Now is the creator economy, and those been with us some years. Remember that 2-3 years ago we launched it as a creator economy, and then nobody understood it. Now everybody's talking about creator. TikTok has 25 million people living. Their main source of income is being a TikTok creator. YouTube has it labeled the same. Spotify labeled the same. So we just been a little bit ahead of time. So our Genesis period, our pregnancy, it started well and it ended well. So it's good. We are now into the pulse phase, and this is where everything is pumping. And we have so many billions of transactions when it comes to the creator economy. We've proven ourselves. And you see the turnover we have now each day, we are proven. We are proven. We are growing not day by day, but hour by hour. And we actually outpaced yesterday with 50%. I mean, the day before yesterday, we did great. And yesterday we did 50% higher. So that's just a testament without any breaking news. That's a testament of the inflection point we are getting to with SuperOne now. That inflection point goes into the creator economy. It goes into the interest for the greater public coming in. And all of you that started early in the Genesis phase, you can be so proud because you can say, I was there from the beginning. I was there from the very. I gave birth to SuperOne. Let's not go into the literal understanding of that, but that's the cool thing, is that you've been part of something. Okay, we spent a little bit more time. We were pregnant like an elephant and not like a human being or a mice. But anyway, who cares? Nobody cares about the past. What we care about is the current and the future, because the future is so cool. And we're looking there and we see, if you look 10 years back, what happened then? I was first into crypto in like 2016, 10 years ago. Okay, what happened? What happened now? It's been an involvement, yes, into gaming. What happened? 10 years ago, I would like to reflect on one project that saw the daylight, the living daylight. That was Pokemon Go. It was launched out of the blue by Niantic. Was a cooperation with Google and Pokemon. The cards, the board game that they brought into a mobile application. You know, they launched on one day and they started doing $5 to $10 million immediately every day. After 2 weeks, they had done $100 million. After 4 weeks, they done 200 million. After 9 months, they passed $1 billion. So it was not 2 billion, I think. So basically, if you look back on Pokemon Go, accumulated, they played around $8 billion now. This is the moment we have. Our game is transformative in the same way as Pokemon Go. That's why I position it towards Pokemon Go. When I speak to investors, have you seen something similar to SuperOne? No, we don't have. They always try to find something. They always try. That's the nature of investors, and that's why it's cool working with them, because they always try to outsmart you. But they come back and say, "This is great. I can't really find something." It's what we have now out of risk, because risk is what you need to de-risk, and you need to contain risk, and you need to understand risk. Now the risk is more on execution, team, and those kind of things that is manageable. The product has already proven itself. There is no doubt. And our execution risk comes down to, are we able to execute? Have we executed in the past? Yes, we have. We have. Okay, not everything is 100%. But damn, we've been there and we've been fighting these fights for all these years. We're bringing now into the next phase. We have much more resources coming, both in terms of partnerships, in terms of development resources, in terms of human people working in the company, and in terms of capital, of course. So this is all now into a new heartbeat phase where we're building the character of the company. We're taking it live, we're making it public, we're bringing the deals into action, and we'll make a hell of a lot of money in the period. So my goal is probably you haven't seen the campaigns that we are nurturing, but we have this golden ball concept with the star. So when we are launching the hunt for the golden ball around the world, and we speak to some of the major advertising agencies on this, I tell you a secret. I was in Saudi Arabia 2 weeks ago on an investment conference. It was probably me and the rest were sheikhs from Saudi. And I met a French guy, Frenchman. His name is David. And he spent 20 years in Eurosport, dealing with the top stars in the world, dealing with the broadcasting of Eurosport. The past 3 years, he built the whole media structure of Saudi Pro League. And he had unlimited budgets, okay? And he built that. And now the Saudis have taken possession of that themselves. So he was a little bit looking, Andreas, he was kind of, had a first meeting. I met him through some sources and partners in Saudi. And basically he was like nagging me, Andreas, what is this? And then he come back and we had 4 or 5 meetings in one day. And I said, I watched him, the hunt for the golden ball video, and he was just like, wow, can I work with you? And now he's employed. I employed it earlier this week. So David is now one of our chief media guys that is coming in, really powering SuperOne into the media. Well, he sniffs things like an old horse. He see, wow. And I said, David, you think we can reach $100 million first month? Yeah. You think we can reach $1 billion? Played correctly? Yes, I truly believe. So we don't know, somewhere between there. We are a phenomenon. Imagine when everyone in the world can gift a golden ball to this star to build the biggest tower in the world that we are doing, together with Guinness World Record and the whole other stuff we're doing. It's going to be great. When this star comes live with his own game, digital twin, you're able to beat, you're able to win $1 million every Sunday. It's crazy. I met with a provider in a very famous provider in Brazil, which is #1 football market in the world. Yeah, day before yesterday, I had a meeting with the head of business development in Mercado Bitcoin. Pix, in Brazil, they have something called Pix, meaning you can pay on WhatsApp. It goes in seconds. Ding, 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 ding. Money in and out. You can pay them 10 cents, $10,000. You can do whatever. It's in and out of the bank. It's de facto the payment rail in Brazil. Brazil is the most passionate football country in the world. The people, they're crazy. TikTok has nearly 100 million users in there. We are there. We are there with stars. We have a lot of stars. We have a lot of football. We have a lot of clubs coming on. The top clubs in Brazil, we are in dialogue. And I asked him, what do you think if we run $1 million every Sunday and people have to play through the week? You will turn Brazil upside down, he said. So that's what we're going to have Pix, of course, coming in as the payment thing in Brazil. And the good thing is that actually Brazilian authorities have challenged the App Store, so you can actually use Pix in Google App Store. And Google has 80% coverage. So that's amazing. So we're doing that. And with TikTok, we are running at T+7 liquidity because we get paid more frequent, meaning even with financial instruments, we are down to T+1, meaning we get our payments plus 1 day, meaning we have liquidity to actually grow extremely fast and still pay creators in real time T0. That's really cool. And that's what we're also working with now in the crypto industry with DeFi instruments to go get to T0 on every transaction. It applies to creators, it applies to stars and clubs. That's where the real advantage is. So when you see T0 coming, meaning as you have in the platform today, you have T0. It happens instantly. And that's where we're heading, and that's it's a little bit of religion for me, because T0 is an advantage. It means to finality immediately. And doing that with $200 milliseconds on the base platform. It's crazy in USDC. It's just crazy. USDC is the most appreciated stable coin from Circle Foundation with everything. And we can do this with basically we're gonna change using stable coins because we can't have retail coming in with varying there. We are not abandoning XRP, but we are agnostic when it comes to the platform. We are using what's best for our users, not for what some blockchain nerd think is good. That's why I don't care about all the chains I meet. I care about their distribution, their on and off ramp. So with Base, we get Coinbase credibility, operational credibility. We get USDC standardization. We get on and off ramps from Stripe around the globe and many other providers. And we get a fully US compliant rail. So when somebody is talking about tokenomics and whatever we do with our tokens, we haven't really distributed the tokens. There is no one that can say anything because we have created a whole new tokenomics that has not been published. Because obviously, we had a tokenomics. Many of you are in possession of tokens and you're buying tokens in these packages every day. But obviously, if you read our terms, we have to adapt to the regulations. What we did 3 years ago might be or might not be possible today. We are here. I mean, we are the biggest stakeholder. I am the biggest stakeholder. I want to be able to travel to Miami in the future. I don't want to be arrested at the airport and end up in Alligator Alcatraz. I don't want to be there, okay? Definitely. So we have to be prudent and we have to work with the authorities and compliance. That's why we hired, first of all, we have one of the best firms in the world in Zurich. They are the lawyers of Ethereum Foundation and Solana. They are really big. I went to a dinner with them the day before yesterday. Then we have the best firm in US when it comes to token and the Web3 and the whole digital thing. I don't pop the name now because it's some of you will know who I'm talking about. It's they have supported the big tech, the big seven are there. They are one of the most, and this is how we protect ourselves, including you. So everything you potentially read or hear about in blogs or negativity or whatever, everyone is trying out there to be a troll about SuperOne. Because as we know, expand. And this is just a blueprint of what happened to anybody else. Imagine what's been stated about Tesla over the years. That is not working, is fake, it's not selling. Still, Elon Musk has managed to pull it through, okay? So when he started this SpaceX, he failed and failed and failed. Now he's the ruler of that space. Starlink is an additional product that when you fly today, you pick a flight with Starlink because it's lightning fast, and I fly a lot, way too much. I prefer Starlink flights because I can work during the flight. There is always there. So these kind of processes is kind of it's the same repeating with SuperOne. You will have adversaries trying to say something negative, but those people have never made anything in the world. They haven't created anything. They haven't been doing anything. They are just slave to the rhythm of boredom. And so you have to look beyond that and you have to look to the numbers of what we actually have achieved. Look to our ledger for prices. People say, oh, I didn't get my price. Yes, sometimes when you're doing a 1.9 million prices, there might be some discrepancy on 0.01%. Yes, it is. It's a startup. Things happen. There's technology. There is new things. But that doesn't say that the other 99.99% is not correct. So you hear about the negatives or the adversaries coming with fairy tale stories. That's not true. You should just tell them to basically find another playground because we don't I mean Stian and me been into this so long that we are beyond the elephant thick of skin. So we could actually walk into the jungle and we won't even feel a cobra bite because we've been there and we've been persistent for all these years what we're doing. If something failed like a commission, we come back and we fix it, okay? It might take 2, 3, 4 weeks because we have a team and they're working. It's not so easy. We have a lot of things going on the platform. And with the AI development now, there's so much cool things. So that's where we are. And I couldn't care less because I'm navigating through the North Star. And the North Star now is now is a pulse phase to get a successful launch with a star and a few clubs, and we get started. We really get the engine running. I'm not going to talk about the timing because the timing going to be exponential. We're going to move through the pulse phase, and you know the hockey stick of the S curve. We will very quickly get in there. Then you are in Nexus phase where everybody start talking. Everybody wants to come. I'm booked for meetings for the next 3 months. And I'm traveling the world not because I like it, but I spend most of my time meeting partners and stars and clubs around the world and technology partners. And the reason for this, we are breading the ground for what's coming. And when I speak, I don't use notes. I don't even use the slides, but they listen and they say, we want in because we have the proof. And that's important where we're going. We're actually putting one foot in front of another, but we can vouch for what we're saying. We are not talking about something very, very abstract might happening. So what we are doing, we are bringing mass adoption into what we have with AI, agentic AI, and mass adoption into the crypto layer that we create. So this hybrid is not a Web 3, it's not a Web 2, it's a Web 2.5. I don't care. It's just buzzword. What I care about is the revenue side. And it brings me, I talked about NASDAQ. That's the end goal, okay? Why? We want to get to NASDAQ before this administration is out of office because whatever.
He got bumped off, I think, his hotel Wi-Fi. I'm sure he'll pop back in. Alex, oh, that's Betsy.
Yeah, looks like we lost him, but he will probably.
He's coming in again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of talk and details, right? But I think
Exciting.
everybody loves to get the
Exciting.
update. So
I love
yeah,
it.
it's exciting that we moving the company main operation to US. I think that was news. I hinted to you a week ago, I think, but that's a cool thing. We
He,
always aim to be
he did.
operating over there, and now is happening.
I love it. I know. Not just boots on the ground. We're gonna have heels on the ground.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
that's really cool.
Well,
Yeah,
that says a lot if we're ready to open ourselves up to US scrutiny and all the compliance, and base is awesome. That puts us in a
yeah.
position to be like
Yeah,
that.
that's going to simplify a lot. We haven't decided if we're going to merge them together because we can use the XRPL basically running transactions out in the way we want to go away from the XRP. And I've been talking about it many times that it makes more sense to pay in a stablecoin. That's part of the switch that we're doing. If we will pay in Ripple's stablecoin or we will do it in the USDC from base, we haven't decided 100% yet. So it's possible to do both. But the onboarding or
Yeah.
the base onboarding process makes it so much simpler. They have everything in place. So banking payment, direct payment with bank, payment with Google Pay, everything
Yeah.
is already there. So
Yeah, and Stripe, and it actually makes it easier for people to onboard once that's all integrated. They can come in through Stripe, right, and then just pay in USDC, and it's immediately converted, so we can still pay out in real time. And people who are not crypto savvy can do the fiat route. So that will make massive, massive. Just
yeah, we're taking away a lot of friction on that. So we know how hard. Well, we've been doing good numbers over the years still with the setup that we have, but and it hadn't always been like this, right? So it's like Andreas is talking about, a lot have changed the last year and a half.
there he
So
Yes, he's back. All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Andreas is here. We'll let Andreas talk finish and then we can finish up.
I gotta make him a host again. There we go. Welcome back.
Sorry for that. I was in so good mood, I forgot the charging here. So thing is that. Okay, so the phase, not only we're looking for Nasdaq within the period of this administration, many of you are token holders, and everybody asks, when are you listing? In the Nexus phase, it's good to list. Why? Because you create first the initial traction in the pulse phase with stars, with clubs, you get the traction and you get into the S curve. The crypto market is more driven by expectation than the stock market. So we get the valuation phase coming closer, meaning it comes earlier, much earlier. So we are able to actually capitalize and to get the value earlier in that phase. And that's why we are listing in the Nexus phase, which will happen once we're really booming. And why we're doing that, it's of course because we want to extract value, or we want to make our stakeholders being able to capitalize or liquidate or whatever you call some of their holdings or all of their holdings, depending on what kind of investors you are, to get liquidity into it. So to actually benefit from all the value creation you've been part of, we're going to do that in the Nexus space, and we're going to do it on the back of success of Web 2, because that's the only thing that matters today. Is the back that there are thousands of tokens. You need attention. And I spoke with the PR agencies now recently for token listing, and they're all good. They can all do this and this, but they need this kind of attention in the market. So we need to market us in a little bit different way, and that is coming up back of a successful Web 2. We are able to drive insane valuation on the token side. And that's what we all are looking for. So exciting times ahead, exciting times behind us. We have done a great work, and I will thank you all for being part of that history and being part of that journey. As we move forward, and as the Ans also talk about in their Zooms, there is a lot of exciting things happen. Naturally, we cannot disclose everything, even if we wanted to say. And there are things that has to come. But there is a lot of great things and partners coming to the table as we move from all directions. But the foundation has been made over these years, where we are now coming to an inflection point where you see this is booming. And that's satisfying for being material part of this story. And it's satisfying for you to start saying, and you will soon see, because we created a complete AI publishing agent that we are now in the final testing. So we've been always criticized for being too little on information. Now you will criticize us for giving too much information, because we created a full automated engine, runs on OpenAI, Gemini, and Claude. And we have a triple action engine that could control all articles against each other based on our input. And we have fully automated content creations coming from CDANS 2.0 plugged into it. So obviously we're going to have some of the most progressive posting engines in the world, going directly into TikTok, into all social media, into blogs. We are using Astro as the execution layer with nearly zero latency and very little JS code. So yeah, we are into it, and we're going to do fast. We're going to do a lot, and we need to expand. Obviously, we need to expand. Our constraint is not ideas. We have way too many, and it's not capital. It's more human resources, because sometimes you get people. I think I have over the past years at least hired and fired 100 people. We can only use 10% of the people that comes in the door, We try to be selective. Sometimes you have people that seems to be very good, and then at the end of the day, they are not that good. There's a lot of good papers out there. There's a lot of good things. People are good at speaking, and you have all these AI kind of CVs coming and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they don't have the freaking guts to really move it forward. And that goes more to personality than your skill set. So it's a lot of these things. That's why I'm saying there is always challenging growing a company. At least to get people in on the top executive level is difficult. It's very difficult because people have a life normally. And some of us, I mean, the way I travel now, it's not, you can't combine that with a small kid, in example. So you cannot do that. Now I'm in Miami. I'm going back to Norway for a week. Then I go to Madrid. No, I go to Barcelona. I go to Madrid for obvious reasons. Then after that, I'm off to Dubai for a little time. Then I go to Singapore. I'm back to Dubai. I'm going to Riyadh. I'm going to Qatar. Then in July, I'm back in Norway. So that's what we're, and in between, I probably have to go a couple of places on the American side of the world too. I can't say too much, but there are things going on, and it's amazing because we are into a global economy. So Facebook was born 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it's one of the most respected, high revenue companies. 20 years they've been there. 10 years into a crypto kind of mass domination. What's happened the next year, 10 years? I'm not on the conferences because I like to do it. I'm there because we are talking to people, talking to technologists. We are breeding the market. The agentic economy is now what really, really happens. And you don't understand that by sitting in a remote office trying to do something. You have to be out there. You have to test it. You have to try and error, trial and fail and succeed. That's how you build things. You don't start drive a car like a Formula One driver. You probably didn't do that. You start a little bit earlier with your mom or dad screaming and getting nervous like shit. So that's the way. We are past that sense. We are on the racetrack. We are maybe not in Formula One yet, but we are in Formula Two. So whatever. We are there. I'm very, very happy and thank you all for your contribution. We're going to grow this insanely, and I think we will put a zero behind the numbers very, very quickly. And we have some great news coming. We are synchronizing. It's going to be not only one news, there's going to come a lot of news from SuperOne. And we have both what I describe as long term, which is less than 3 years, and short term strategy, which is the 3 to 6 months strategy. So it is amazing. And our platform, the tech we have created, is really cool. And it's powerful. It's not only cool, it's not beautiful, it's just marvelous. Because the combination we have, one thing is that our game, and you think it's a little bit boring, but you will see the new version of the game, you will be like, what? Is this possible? Yes, it's possible. So we are again challenging Boris. It's not only going to come swipe. Stian will tell you a little bit more about that when he don't have me to overlook him. And that's coming. And it's amazing formats, and it's amazing formats making agents work on your behalf. And I haven't even started talking about the social agent that will find opponents for you and maybe your next wife or husband coming into that. So let's say you love Liverpool and you want to find your counterparty in Liverpool. There is so much funny thing we can do. It's just the imagination. So that's our technology. Then we have the whole tech talk of ByteDance. Byte Plus is actually the right name. And that is so powerful that the acceleration into the world is crazy. And there's one thing when I speak to clubs and stars and say, there is one thing I ask them, how is your commercial activity in China? Zero, zero, zero. You know, we can offer you 750 million crazy Chinese people on Douyin. Is that of interest? How can we do that? How can we do that? The collectible mind in about collectibles. China has a lot of regulation on gaming. So we maybe not run the game with prices. We can run the game, but there are some addictive or protection about addictiveness in China because their mentality is native gamers, and it's just crazy. So there are limitation on time, etc. But with our Chinese partners now, we can do collectibles. So let's, for argument's sake, you put out the star, and we have a whole series of gold balls, gold cars, different things going in China. You will have Chinese people collecting it like rice. It's ding, 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 ding. And every this gold ball, we're gonna do the Guinness World Record coming to the market. That's the launch campaign for the star. It's gonna be all over the world for this month, and I think it will be a record month. So when people say I'm gonna join SuperOne when I see this is live, yes, that's okay. You will come in at 10 or 50 times more the value because that month is the shredding moment. It's the defining line, and we are actually touching on that now because the phase we are into now it's closing in. It's closing in, and the door is slowly closing, and it will just go like this. We don't want to give away value for our existing stakeholders in terms of whether it be on the share side or it be on the token side. We will not give away great value for free. It will never happen. We are commercial. We are business people. We are here to succeed together with you. And obviously, we want the high valuation. We want everything to be attributed. So when it's launched, it's too late. It's like giving back to the birth phase. I mean, you can't claim you're the second father of a child. So it doesn't really work like that in the world. So only one woman can give birth to one child or multiple child at the time, but they come normally one by one. And that's the way it is. The rationale, I thank you very much for being part of our pregnancy period, also called Genesis period. And I thank you very much for being part of our pulse period, which is our adulthood when we are growing. And we're going to do everything in our power to really push this hard. And we're going to do the right things. And I'm a little bit surprised that we go all American in, but it's cool. It's great. It's the business acumen, the attitude. I must sort of say I've listened to people from the administration. I will call it that without mentioning names over the past days, and their greater circles. Okay, it has developed a tech crypto circle around the current administration with their crypto SARS and everything. And they've been able, this is all the way from Peter Thiel and all the way to David Sachs to the White House. They have opened up SEC commission. They have pushed things to a different level that enables these businesses to flourish. It helps when the president was debanked with 300 bank accounts in one day. It helps because he understands the problem and he done it. So it helps to have that kind of experience, and that's what the US is benefiting from now is the business thing. And when you get the tax rate down, federal tax rate from 35% to 20%, it helps. We are not here to tax optimize. We don't care about 20%. It's good to contribute to society. We don't want to be in Cayman Island or BVI. We don't want to be in a shadow place. We want to be in a transparent place with credible presence, with the right consumer protection, where we are able to get masses into the platform. And that's what the acumen of what we're doing. That's the strategy, and that's where we're heading. So welcome to SuperOne Incorporated in Delaware with big office in Miami and around US with subsidiaries driving insane revenue from Ireland, Luxembourg, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Riyadh. So it's a lot of great things happening. So I thank you very, very much. Keep up the good work. I open for any questions. If you have anything, I can answer anything. If I want to answer, is another question.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll open up
Thank
the
you. Thank
chat.
you.
Thank you so much, Andreas. You have blown my mind. I knew you were hinting at something about going legit in the US. So, Christy, if you can just go ahead and open the chat for, oh, the chat is open. You beat me to it. Okay, guys, we are not going to do raised hands. So anything that you want to ask, I'm going to filter it because I know what Andreas won't answer. So go ahead and put any of your questions into the chat, and then I will read those off to him and we'll get some answers before he has to call it a night. So go ahead and please just use the chat for now to ask any of your
Did
questions.
you want it open or just to host and co-host?
No, you can open it. It's fine.
Okay, it's open.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just waiting for some questions to come through. There might not be any questions. You might have done what you always do and just brilliantly planted everything in your mind. Okay, we've got something. Where can I apply? Oh boy. Why does everybody want to go work at SuperOne? Um, thank you. Looking forward to, so when is the launch? So he did mention, but that was the first question, Andreas, if you want to.
There's always questions about timing, and I can say that it's coming shortly. It's closing in. We are not alone in this world. We have one of the biggest stars with a big team around, and we are preparing these things. It will be, like I said, a phased launch, and that's coming. So I will not comment on the timeline, but it's coming not too far away. It's not years and it's not that many months, but it's weeks. But
Okay.
please, you shouldn't ask that question. You
Yes.
should ask a different question. How powerful will the launch be? How unique will the launch be? What will the launch mean for me? That's the question you should ask. What will the impact be for the platform? What value creation will the launch embed? And I will sort of say, we're going to do this. I mean, the token sale, I mean, the token that you acquire now, going to bump significantly. It's going to go crazy. We already have allocations coming in, and we have people committing now into very big amounts of token. So obviously there are things happening. So I won't go into too much details because I have to be a little bit careful. But it will be powerful. And like I said, it's too late to become the father of the child after the birth.
Okay, we have, this is a good one. If you woke up tomorrow and it was December 31st, 2026, what must have happened for you to consider things to be a success? So I'm
A,
guessing
co- a
would
complete a complete full-blown launch and at least 5 million regular players spending at least $2, driving $500 million in annualized revenue. At least. I believe it will be higher, but that's December. I mean, the launch is not going to be next autumn. The launch is coming before. So we will have, let's say, when he or she is talking about the end of the year, we have a successful launch months before, many months before. And obviously, this has to deal with the timing of the World Cup, which will take a lot of energy out of the market. It has to deal with what we do during World Cup. It has to deal with star appearances and availability, and that's a little bit subject to World Cup, to be honest. And there are things outside our control. But let's, for argument's sake, let's be very conservative and say we have a great entrance into the market in, let's say, latest early August, just to say, then you have 4 months till the end of the year. And if we look on the virality of like two every week, and we start out even with 1 million people coming in from a global campaign, 1 million become 2 million, become 4 million, become 8 million, and so forth. It's not that many weeks before you reach maybe 50 million and or even 25 million, and you have 20% of that paying. That's the 5 million. I think it's realistic that we, by the end of the year, are on a on an annualized revenue stream of $1 billion a year. That's my personal goal. At least $1 billion revenue sets us at a $10 billion company by the end of the year. And I have personally motivation is to be a $100 billion company by 2030.
I see it. I see it. This is a good question from Bree. Relative to investors, what percentage will they absorb of SuperOne? Is it about credibility or actual need or desire of using their funds? I'm guessing she's talking about
It's a mixture because when this blows, obviously we will have a requirement for growth capital. That's definition. Even if we have T+7, we will need capital. We will need to invest heavily into IP. Now we have football IP. We need to invest into other IPs for expansion, for horizontal expansion into new verticals like NFL, NBA, and Formula One. Obviously, it's a mix of, I won't say a need. There are many ways of financing it. It's also a verification of the valuation on the platform. It's on the way to Nasdaq, on the way to listing, even on the crypto side, on the way to listing a token. If we can market and make public that a certain investor types have already pre-allocation of the token, it will fly. It's just like how it is. They are always early in because they are cornerstone investors that brings certain credibility to the project. Even if we are doing well, it's always good to have those people and or those resources. It's also about aligning with strategic capital in the sense that many of these companies has been behind successful listing both in Nasdaq and the crypto space before. So it gives you access to human capital, to connections. And a lot of in this world is driven by connections. So these investor introductions is not predominantly driven by the need for capital. We want people to participate. So the more people we bring to the whole thing, and the more valuable input we get, the better it is. We are not masters of everything, just a little bit.
All right, we have a couple of questions that I'm not going to read, but they're so I have two people asking, are we going to leverage FIFA or do any like advertising during FIFA World Cup?
There will be activities during the World Cup, yes, but I don't want to go into details at that point in time now.
Yeah, that's definitely stuff to keep under wraps. It makes sense for the campaigns to come out when they're meant to. I'm not going to ask that, Nina. That is definitely something for your sponsor or your support team. We can always work with you on strategy. Carrie, we're going to skip yours, get with your team on that. Yes, Beth, I agree with you. Let me find, I think we had, um, this is a good one from Julio. Working with Coinbase, tax implication slash reporting, how will that work?
I mean, tax is based on where you as an individual are domiciled. So it doesn't really have to deal with the company itself. The company itself comes into maybe disclosure of things to the authorities. And but I mean, tax is a result of success. So each individual, we are not going to be a murky kind of operation in Southeast Asia without any foundation on a Palm Island or anything. We're not pursuing that. The reason is the scrutiny on compliance in the banking, in the fiat on rails that we need to grow, kind of forces us to do that, but also we don't want to be there. So we don't want to be, like I said, I want to be able to go to New York and Miami and LA. I want to be there. I don't want to be handcuffed at the borderline because we've done something stupid. So we will be compliant, and tax is what it is.
Yeah.
It is. I coming from Norway, it's a high tax country, but it's a stupid tax society too, because they tax wealth without liquidity, without profits. So it's crazy. But let's not go down the tax route because it's there. I mean, the tax man They have a dog breed named after them. It's called Doberman. They always been there, and they always need protection, and they always gonna be there. That's the part of the society we're living in. In different is politics, but from a business point of view, if you look into the top valued companies in the world, where are they domiciled? Delaware, US. What is the sexiest capital of technology in the world at the moment? Miami. They're all moving here. Zuckerberg, the Google founders, Bezos, they're all coming to Miami. Why? Because there is no state tax, and there is slashed the federal tax from 35 to 20%. So that's it. And then it becomes the gateway to the world. It's closer to Europe. It's very close to Latin America. And it's nice climate. It's a business acumen here that's really forward, fast thinking. So it's cool. I think it's I won't disregard US from a tax perspective. I will rather say, where are the biggest capital movements and liquidity pools in the world? Where are they? It's US. Why is the biggest Chinese companies domiciled in they're domiciled in Cayman Island, and they are listed in US. Yeah, Cayman Island is the secondary place we actually considered. But out of the business, the law firm recommended US. 90% of the business is onshore US. 10%, less than 10% is offshore US, like Cayman. But it's a lot of complications for the stakeholders. And we will earn from the appreciation of the value, from the value increase, not the tax itself. And that's what you're going to have as an individual. You're holding token that runs from whatever we're selling it at now to maybe $50. Obviously, you have more or less 99.99% profit. That is subject to your where you're domiciled. So nothing about where the company is. Company doesn't tax your appreciation, your profit from a token sale. If you happen to live in Cayman Island at that point in time, you pay zero tax. If you live in Miami, you pay 20% in federal tax. If you live in California, you get ripped off with 50%. It is, if you live in Norway, you probably pay even more. So that's a little bit up to you,
Yeah,
and it's nothing for the company when it comes to the taxation.
absolutely.
We are not tax advisors, and we're going to be so far away from it that you can't even imagine.
Yeah, but we're legit and we're going to be compliant, and that's all you need to know about that. So, if you need to structure something, that's something you would need to do on your own. And there's lots of ways you can do it. One more. So yeah, other than a lot of thank yous and just like amazing appreciation for you being here tonight, there's one more. But Yendi, he talked about it at length. So maybe just watch the recording. He did talk about listing on NASDAQ. So we're not going to even answer that question because he went pretty deep into that. Yeah, I think that's it. Everybody just said thank you. Brilliant, refreshing.
I have to say one thing about pregnancy. You don't tell your parents or friends that you're pregnant before normally a couple of 2, 3 months into the pregnancy. So when people ask about definite timing, we can and or we will not disclose everything because things happens at a lightning speed. And I must say we learn a lot from working with these stars also. And also the clubs. Some it's not the easiest to handle, to be honest, but it's amazing the power we are pushing now. So yes, it's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be global, and it's gonna be so powerful. Uh, we have just a small engine under the hood, and that engine under the hood is 2.7 billion users. So I call it the nuclear engine of SuperOne. That's under the hood of this beautiful car. So that's it's gonna be the fastest car in the world. And I can add, since we are in US, the biggest and the most beautiful car.
Revving engines. All right, one last one. No more
Yeah.
questions for this, you guys. We don't want to keep them up all night. and I kind of already know the answer to this, and I know you do too, which is why I think it's kind of strange you're asking this. Are you thinking of having a crypto or other credit card through SuperOne so we can spend our earnings directly?
Uh, Yes and no, because yes, we can have a crypto card, but we can also transfer with Stripe. Stripe has a banking solution where they actually consume the banking complexities. So you get paid in the pennies directly to a Stripe account that can be directly to your regular account for Visa. But yes, we can create those cards. There are schemes right, left, and center doing so. And for those of you seen me pitching Superbank, it's a part of our bolder strategy, but we can't do everything in one go, and we don't want to touch people's money. At a certain point in time we will, but in the very beginning we need to be decentralized when it comes to some of these things, or we need to leverage existing bank rails. We are doing the latest, the last one. We're going to implement from service providers banking solutions, instant settlement, and instant for you virtual cards in your iPhone or Google Pay. Spend your money, withdraw your money. On back of SuperOne, we are creating, going forward a little bit more long term, we are creating Superbank. So you can imagine, I just give you a value proposition on that, how that will work. Because let's say we have 10 million active users in SuperOne. That's not a lot, but 10 million spending money every day. You bring them into Superbank, and then you have a virtual bank with 10 million active users. Revolut is valued at $1,000 for every user. So it's a $10 billion company instantly by branching out the banking thing. And that is a little bit about how you position your brand in terms of creating a group of valuable things. And without promising too much, the existing stakeholders will carry through that process too, will be passported into this value. I mean, it's about extracting value and making value visible to the market, and in a sense that financial analysts are able to actually understand and to value you. So when it comes to banking, it's a very fast-moving subject matter. And when you're into US and banking and the off and on ramp, it's so much happening. I'm meeting companies here. There are so many operators. What we care about is that the value is transported to the end user quickly at the lowest possible cost. Like I said, in Brazil, you have Pix. In Saudi Arabia, you have Mada operate on the same. And in Saudi Arabia, I was there 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks, yeah. I was there. I not only met David that we employed, and you will meet him. He's a great, great guy, French guy. I also met with the STC, Saudi Telecom Corporation. They offered me, say, Andreas, do you want 25 million users with carrier billing? Carrier billing, meaning they charge it to the mobile phone, and we pay you real time because they had too much money. So, okay, that's pretty cool. So imagine you have 1 or 2 million Saudis spending this money on their mobile phone. They get charged to their bill, let's say $5 a month, nothing. A week, $10 a week, $10 a week, nothing for a Saudi, absolutely nothing. But you have 1 million, two doing it. It's $10 million every week. It's another $500 million. That can continue around the world. So we're going to have different pay rails, but we are not predominantly here to create a card for you and all that. There's so many others doing that. And what we need is that you get a virtual card in your wallet. And I mean, plastic cards or even metal cards is a little bit getting history now. We are changing. You have the rings, you have everything. You're spending money digitally. How many use a physical card anymore? It's kind of getting outdated. So looking forward, should we go into that engraving metal and spending $100 to create a card when you can get it instantly with all the benefits from the best providers in the world instantly? That's probably a better value proposition for us, at least at this stage. and then things will happen. I mean, the whole payment ecosystems are in the very, very rapid development. A lot of things happen. And yes, we speak to some of the biggest. So I don't have a better answer to that, because in the very beginning, we are not here to become a licensed bank, period.
Yes, that's
What happens next year is another question. That's for another discussion and a broader discussion.
She already heard you talk about Superbank, so I'm kind of surprised she asked about it, but that's all right. We'll let it go. I think we can wrap it up, say thank you, love you, leave you, all the things. So excited for everything that we got to hear tonight. We did close the chat because I think we got all the
Thank you for being part of this journey and supporting us. We are very, very grateful. We will always take care of you and protect you. And whatever we do, we will bring you forward. We will bring our legacy forward. And we will succeed together here. It's an amazing market, and we have done some or achieved some things, and we're going to have new heights coming in the weeks, years, and months, whatever forward. It's going to be amazing. And I look forward to really succeed and really bring this into $100 billion by 2030. And it's doable. It's more than doable. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Stians. Take care. Next broadcast for me can be from another part of the world. We are attending Super AI in Singapore in 10th of June. Exciting partnerships coming.
love it.
Don't worry, we have bold ambitions. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andreas.
Thank you.
Fearless leader. We love you. You're amazing.
All right. So listen, I can add a little bit to that from what Andreas is saying.
That was a lot.
It was a lot, especially for all our guests.
5 minutes. 5 minutes just to talk a little bit. That was a lot.
Oh, I can add a little bit to the card thing. So when we are implementing Base, for those who don't know what Base is, it's basically Coinbase that develop it. So automatically when we have Base, we have also the possibility to connect everything to Coinbase, and you can use their cards. So that's the first step. So yes, when we implement Base, you will have a card. You can use the Coinbase card.
And they do crypto.
So it will not say SuperOne on the card, but you can spend your rewards on the card.
Yes, that's exactly right. You get crypto cash back by doing it. Awesome.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Wow, it is a lot of information. I know you guys are probably we're 2 hours to this call, so
I was planning to also talk a little bit of what's coming, but I think I will do it on the next because it was a lot now, and I think it's starting to get late.
Yeah.
I have something to talk about on Tuesday.
when Andreas talks,
I know.
we let him talk because it's amazing, and we don't get him as often as we'd like, and it's I'm just excited. That means we're going to be in the US.
Yeah.
The compliance is huge. It's big. I mean, this is the best for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of value with Andreas coming on. It's always good to have him joining in between. But just touch on that real quick, just so people understand that it's hard for us to put a date on everything, right? Because it's steps to it. We need to get to this, to get to that, and then we move on, right? So it's understandable from a community standpoint that we always want a date, but it's not so easy from a company standpoint to give it. But we are now taking the first step out with the press release, and from there it will be a lot happening with SuperOne, and a lot of release, a lot of news. So I wouldn't focus so much. Andreas is touching on it, and he's very right about this. It's not about it's about that. It's about the release and when we're going live with the game. But there's so much that will go on with SuperOne, and so much news that will be coming, marketing from the company side. So SuperOne will be on fire. So there will be there will not be focus on a date.
But the most important now is when the public release goes out, And when we show the full video about the hunt of the golden ball, and they see the text, what's coming now with ByteDance and all this, that will blow minds. So everybody will start talking about this. So now we have to read a lot of cool videos, how to show how to get the ball. So you make a lot of momentum. So when the star goes out and say, now it's time to join, we have 30, 40 million people in the first hour, you know. So that's the thing. And then it's really take off.
Easily. I know you guys have only
Mm.
gotten to see the little snippet of it, and I'm telling you, like the full 2 minutes and 9 seconds, I was stunned. And I've seen all the content and scissor reels. We have some of the most gorgeous graphics, design team. Like all the stuff is beautiful. Nothing that comes through, everybody's blown away by what we have and put out. This is like next level, super cool, really intelligent in a way that, it gets you asking questions like, what's this $1 million golden ball? The whole series, the way it unfolds, very, very cool. You guys are gonna love it, but I think it's gonna break the internet. I think it's gonna bring way more people to the platform than just, what our 25 million onboarding goal is, just based on that marketing alone.
Yeah, the way the fans interact now with the stars is another level. It's they're taking it to something nobody's seen before and interacted. So it's gonna be super cool. I promise you that.
It's gonna go like
Mm.
beyond viral. Like nobody does this. Nobody, I mean, having the star live stream to begin with is like, you ever see Cardi B like live stream and how many people jump on and then she's just curling her hair and how many people go and buy the curling iron? This is like, this is so much different because you're spending money on a curling iron. Here you have the opportunity to win and chase $1 million, and you're passionate and you follow this guy and you're getting blasted in the algorithm, which never happens. Anytime anyone promotes anything, you got to like pay for it and you still get buried and you only get so many hits before they make you pay again. Here, because of this partnership, you're prioritized, it's blasted out in front of everybody. This has never been done before. I think I think it's going to be way beyond our expectations. I mean,
But you
I
see, even with Andreas now talk about low numbers, you see the numbers with still low numbers. And I can say that I was going to tell you now, but I will tell you next week all the things that's coming because when you get the users in, it's just to make them excited and sit and use money. So we get them from $2 to $5 to $10. And when you have millions of users, this is a lot, and this is what we're creating now. So it's a lot of cool things coming.
my dog just broke into my office.
Mm.
It's time for
That's your digital twin.
yeah, right? She looks just like
Mhm.
little Malinois. All right. Okay, calm down. She's a spaz. She's like, it's bedtime, mommy. What are you doing? All right, you guys. Well, I love that we had Andreas on tonight and we had the Steons, the two Steons, which is always amazing. We will be back next Tuesday. I know there's a lot of private calls we've got set up over the next few days, and we'll keep doing those. These guys make themselves available. More for us than any other team, so take advantage. They just love the US, and now they have to love it even more because we're gonna be in
Yeah,
the
we will move there and live there soon. So we're gonna be neighbors. That
let's
will be the real
go.
fun part.
I love it.
Oh, it's really exciting times. I can say that, and it's so much positive, and all the meetings, the people that we are in contact now, it's like blown away. As I said, it's like a Walt Disney fairy tale. When we make a movie about this, it's really special because we come from little cold Norway, and you see what we have now, and all the people we meet, and they just wow. And the meeting with some of the biggest sports in US is really, really exciting. And it's just if we said that, okay, we can do it tomorrow, trust me we will be there. It's really standing out. So
I'm excited. I've been excited. I like my adrenal glands are just done pumping adrenaline because I've been for a couple years now, just full on adrenaline mode. And it just keeps getting better. And it's so worth it because you guys are Vikings. You guys really do put the blinders on, ignore the noise. I love when Andreas is like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about this and this and this. Like, we just do it. You guys have the grit of no one I've ever known or worked with. You've taught me a lot about just like how to focus, perseverance, burning the boats and taking the island. That's it. There's no exit. Like they have no exit strategy. The plan is to win, and they're winning in a bigger way than we ever thought. And we get to be a part of it, you guys. This is huge. It's massive. It's like surreal, and sometimes I gotta pinch myself.
Yeah, it's. I think the thing is, you see, the platform is paying in real time. And I know you get this commission, a lot of you in real time. Think with this just keep coming 24/7, and all your friends started getting them and so on. It will explode. The community will explode 100%. And when the stars see that start earning, they will earn. They will work more. So I think we're creating something really, really special here. And when it's about passion, it is so strong because we see how it is, and I think we will have a lot of people coming on here who hate football. They just want to be part of the process, and they open the next sport and the next sport and the next sport. We're just going to bring more random people into it. So I think we have something super exciting. I was going to tell you a lot of cool things, but I'm going to do that next week. So you have to see that it's really cool
Yeah.
what's coming and how people will sit and react. And the people involved now in this, it's coming from some of the biggest games out there, and they really love what we do, and they want to be part of us. So Andreas said that he had some crazy good meetings. And this is the fun thing. When you come to people who've been creating the biggest leagues and part of building and this, and they say, wow, I want to be part of this because I see that this is going to be huge. It's super fun. So I want to there's a lot of new people. I have one video I want to
I was gonna
show you
ask.
before at the ending. It's really cool.
Okay.
The music and everything. And this is how we're going to do the world record. This is with Barcelona. So I hope we meet next week, and it's really good work. And I see US is going to go so big now. I see that. I see how it's growing, and it's going to be super exciting. I'm super pumped now. Look at this.
It starts with one heartbeat, one echo in the street, one spark beneath the skin, where the fire begins. SuperOne. One touch, one pass, one sound, then thunder shakes the ground. A whisper turns to flame, and nothing stays the same. We're not just watching, we're not just names, we are the motion. We are the flood, we are the rise, we are the fire in a million rise. We are the wave breaking the wall, rolling together, one for all. No line can hold us, no voice too small. When we move as one, we fill the world with football. SuperOne.
I love that. It made me cry the first time I saw it. It's so cool.
Yeah, the music is so good, and we have more songs like this coming. It's just to get the fans excited. So,
I mean, that's gonna blow them away. I don't get emotional. I haven't had emotions in like 25 years, and that made me like well up. I was like, what is happening? It's a Super One song. Why am I crying? But I
but you
love
know, now is the phase where it's starting. You know, if you talk with people in Facebook, probably they don't remember what they did before Facebook, before they launched. Now when we go public, and now the fun start for all of us, and trust me, in 1 or 2 years we will not remember this. Jim will not remember. We sit and wait all the like we are waiting for them. You know, okay, we have it ready soon. We are waiting and all this. It's just okay. We were in earlier, and we just remember the fun thing from when it started, all the excitement. You know, so we are early. I can say that we are 250,000 in the community. And I think now when this go public, I think we're going to be 1 and 2 and 3 very fast millions. I think with all the fans and all this. So oh yeah, it's super exciting now. It was good to hear Andreas also tell you a little bit what's going on behind the scenes. I just thought he said, okay, I can take 5 minutes, but I saw when he get excited, he just keep on going. It's like a
understand.
train.
I
Yeah.
love it. Love it. When he
Mm.
talks, just let him go because it's a beautiful sight. All right, you guys, we will see you Tuesday. Make sure you come back if you're just hearing it for the first time. Bring your guests because there's a lot of stuff that Alex didn't get a chance to share. And Andre's always got some amazing ways to wrap things up and give context and clues where I left things out. So come back, join us next week, Tuesday, Thursday, same place, same time. We love you very much.
Thank you, and have a great
Thank
weekend,
you, everybody.
and have a good
And
time.
happy
Bye-bye.
Mother's Day to all the ladies, all the moms out there.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys. Love you. Bye.
See you.
Bye,
Bye
everybody.
bye.
Bye.